America. Here's a question that could shape the next decade. Is JD Vance quietly carving his path straight to the White House in 2028? He's been called a breath of fresh air for conservative Republicans, but behind his smiles and speeches, there's a burning question nobody in the mainstream wants to touch. Why has JD Vance been so remarkably silent on the Epstein list? Is the silence just coincidence, or is it a carefully scripted move to keep his presidential dreams untouched by the scandal? What I'm about to show you will impress you. Watch this clip from JD Vance's recent outing.
I'm really excited about the fact that for the first time in a very long time, workers' wages are rising faster than inflation. You're able to buy more, you're able to do more, and we're just getting started. For decades in this country, the story was that blue-collar workers in particular, they might get a little pay raise or they might not get any pay raise at all, but it was never enough to keep pace with inflation. No matter how hard you worked, no matter how hard you came to work every single day, no matter how many overtime hours, for example, you put in, you were falling behind. Way too many good Pennsylvania families were falling behind. And under just 6 months of the president's leadership, we've got inflation is coming under control and blue-collar wages are rising faster than they have risen in 60 years. That is a testament to great presidential leadership and the great American people. And we're just getting started, my friends. The passage of the big, beautiful bill. Now, of course, the mainstream media, the corporate press doesn't like what we accomplished. It doesn't like what we did. But let me just talk a little bit about what this bill, about what this legislation means for you and your family. How many, Don, of your 36 employees are putting in a lot of overtime every single week? I bet a lot of them are. You told me you got projects coming in so fast, they're struggling to get people in to do all the jobs that are necessary. Well, now, thanks to President Trump's leadership, if you work overtime, the federal government is not going to take a dime of that overtime. You earn that money, you ought to keep it in your pocket.
The overtime tax cut is one of the most brilliant features of the big, beautiful bill. Hardworking individuals and families now have more money in their hands. Once again, Donald Trump pushed hard for this bill. He took the heat from the Democrats, and while all of that noise is going on, JD Vance is slowly etching his name in the minds of Republican voters, playing his vice presidential role to perfection.
You know, we think it's fine. If you want to go to college, go to college. There's a lot of opportunity out there. But if you want to work with your hands, if you want to build something, if you want to build a house, build a bridge, make one of these incredible orders that comes into this small business right here in northeastern Pennsylvania, your government should not be forcing you to do what elites in Washington want you to do. You ought to be able to chart your own course and your own career path, and the Trump administration is going to fight for that. But, you know, here are just some of the other things that we're doing with this one big, beautiful bill. You know that we are creating the biggest tax breaks maybe in American history for investing in building in the United States of America. So if you're a small business, if you're a medium-sized business, if you want to invest in American workers, we are going to make it so you pay less taxes. Invest in Americans and your government ought to reward you. Isn't that common sense?
But think about it, is this just good politics, or is it a calculated stage-by-stage rise to make him look untouchable for 2028? The pros of this big, beautiful bill clearly outweigh the cons. But behind these pro-American moves, I can't shake the feeling that we're watching something deliberate, a plan to keep JD Vance out of the Epstein crossfire, while pushing him forward with speeches that highlight the Trump-Vance achievements every few months. And you know what? It's working. JD Vance has the charisma, the intelligence, the tact, and the strong will. Is he already being groomed to become the world's most powerful man? So folks, do you think JD Vance is being primed by Republicans for the next election the same way AOC is quietly being primed by Democrats? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading every single one. Until our next clip, stay sharp and stay sensible. Peace.